Yes. My name is Lugura Francis. My GitHub name is Frank Legacy, and my edX name is Francis Lugura, and I currently live in Boma Days in Algeria. The date of recording is 11th March 2025, and my project was about movie data breach that happened in 2023. So let's begin. About moveit, it's just a software application that really was all about securely transfers by enterprises and government agencies, as we're going to see. And highlights of this study is about how a single vulnerability can impact how easily use software and impact millions. So the incident timeline, the key dates we really focused on was the 27th of May, when the impact started in 2023, and the attacker started exploiting the vulnerability. And the May of 31st 2023, the Progress software releases a patch, but the damage is done. And then the June, the breach disclosures from affected organizations presented public data about how they were affected. So what was the root cause of all this? The root cause was, first of all, we're looking at SQL injections. And from the lecture, we saw that this is where malicious code inserted into an application is input field can manipulate databases, can extract sensitive information, gain access to websites. So here, as we're going to see how they hacked into the database of Moveit, got control of how data was the kind of data that was being sent, and how they managed to obtain that data. So how it all happened, the attackers exploited a flaw in Movei's web application, and then they crafted SQL queries and bypassed security controls, granting them access to the database. For example, of an SQL injection is this a method where you can select everything from users. If you know the username is admin, you can really gain access, because we have here an or statement saying 1 equal to 1. So that means that everything here after where is true runs to true, since 1 to 1 is always true. So it means that an adversary can use this to his advantage, whereby I can inject this query and can return all the admin accounts. Wow, this is really malicious. So let's exploit the vulnerability. So first of all, the attackers found and patched movie instance. They executed the SQL injection and gained database access, and then they deployed Lemon like a backdoor shell that I already read about. We never discovered it in the lecture, but also is fascinating software to look about. And then they experimented data focusing on cloud storage locations like Microsoft Azure blobs. So let's look at how this Lemloot really works. So the Lemloot, was all about the attackers. These guys, the Lemloot has an ASP.NET file in movei's directory. Yeah. So the capabilities here, what it enabled them to do was execute commands remotely, extract sensitive files, and maintain persistent access. Really. So here indeed, the after exploiting the SQL injection vulnerability in Moveit, the attackers uploaded the limloot. This guy does a legitimate ASP.NET file inside Movei's directory. They executed limroot remotely to run commands on the servers. Then they gain access to files stored in Microsoft Azure blobs, like that, which was Movei's cloud storage integration. So the consequences of this breach, really, We can look at hundreds of millions of individuals being affected. And we can also see that corporate organizations which were using this software, the BBC, British Airways, Ernst and Young, both were all affected, and even including some government agencies like the Department of Energy was affected, state motor vehicle departments were affected. So the effect was in terms of exposure of sensitive data. For example, you can see names, social security numbers, financial information, and other PIIs. While financial and legal repercussions, there were reputational damages, lawsuits, and regulatory fines. Organizations lost customer trust as people's data was being leaked. So those are some of the consequences, and this is what I learned from this hack. So we can prevent future breaches. So some of the following measures. So one of them is regular security audits. You can whereby immediately identify and fix vulnerabilities before attackers do, and patch management. Really, I saw that we go back here, the attackers exploited the vulnerability on 27th, and these guys were progressive to release the patch on 31st, which kind of beat of a lot of time for the adversary to do really something dangerous. So they should enforce timely patching of critical software and input validation and sanitization. Sorry, this SQL injection wouldn't have occurred if they had proper measures of preventing it, like using parameters. So many things we covered in the lecture. So this could have prevented SQL injection by sanitizing using user inputs. And then the web application firewalls. If these guys really had a web detecting immediately and blocking these malicious requests, I think they would have not got far of hacking into their systems and gaining so much sensitive files. Then intrusion detection and prevention systems. These at least would have monitored and react to suspicious activities, hence preventing the intrusion from occurring. Then incident response planning. At least would have had a unit that ensured quick response to these breaches, and this would have one or the other prevented the adversaries from gaining access to their system. So the conclusion from all this, a moveit breach underscores how a single vulnerability can have a massive consequence. And we saw that organizations and like organizations must be proactive in identifying and addressing these security risks, because we saw how it impacted millions of people. On the takeaways are secure development practices, continuous monitoring, and a strong security posture are non-negotiable in today's threat landscape. So, as we have seen how FPLs and then Lemload, which I really had to research about and see how it exploited the vulnerability in moveit software. So, this was my project. This was CS50 Cybersecurity. Thank you all for listening. Till next time. Bye.